Good to have you here, 9:44. It is one of the greatest jam sessions in American musical history, and this week in Seattle, you can see how it all came together.
$1 Million Quartet explains how Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Carl Perkins all ended up in Memphis for an amazing night of music back in 1956. So this show is playing at Seattle's Paramount Theater through Sunday, and Christopher Ryan Grant plays rock and roll legend Sam Phillips, who discovered all four of these guys. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Hey, Christopher, I have to say, you walked in here and you just embodied Johnny Cash. It seemed like as you walked in here, you are the man in black here.
Yeah, hello.
And that was the role you used to play.
Yes, sir. I started out at the Broadway company covering Johnny Cash, and then once we moved over to the touring company, I decided that I wanted to talk more, and so now I'm playing Sam Phillips, who's kind of he's the audience go-between. I have all the speaking lines pretty much.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's the glue that holds
the
whole thing together.
He's the daddy. If you got a little family, those are all the boys, and I'm the daddy. So
what can folks expect to see at $1 Million Quartet?
You know what? You can expect to see a lot of rock and roll music. I mean, all the boys play their own instruments. Everything you hear is a live band on stage. And we also weave in a little bit of a dramatic storyline. It's a true story. I mean, it's a watershed moment in rock and roll history. I mean, you've got the four most iconic rock and roll players of all time, and it actually happened.
How are audiences responding so far? Can you
crazy.
tell that they're singing
They're crazy.
along? Are they
They're
dancing?
crazy. They're insane. Yeah. Well, we opened last night, and there were, 75, 80-year-old women just like sprying out of their seat and dancing around in the aisles. We've had people rush the stage before. Stage managers are always on call to because when Elvis comes on, everybody goes nuts. But yeah, they're great. It's so lovely to see these beautiful women, look like they're 20 years old again. It's fantastic. I love it. I love it so much.
So tell us about Sam Phillips. How did he get all four of these guys together at Sun Studios for this?
It was kind of a confluence of events. Jerry Lee Lewis had never even cut a record. He was actually playing session piano for a Carl Perkins recording session. Elvis had just made his first movie. Johnny Cash had just released his first record. So these guys were kind of nobodies. And they all happened to be in town at the same time. And Sam called Elvis and he was, said, come on back to Sun. And you can buy it on iTunes. I mean, if you listen to these guys, these four guys sit around and sing gospel songs together. It's incredible. I mean, it's chilling. It gives me chills.
Do you have a favorite out of all four, or is it blasphemous just to pick one?
It is a little blasphemous, but Carl Perkins.
Really? Why is that?
Because no one knows who he is.
Okay.
John Lennon said there would be no Beatles without Carl Perkins. He was that big of an influence in rock and roll history. I mean, he invented rockabilly. He was kind of the first rock and roll guitarist, and he gets the least love because, I don't know, maybe he wasn't as handsome as the rest of the boys, but our Carl Perkins is very handsome. Lee. No, but he invented a sound, and no one knows who he is, and I want people to know who Carl Perkins is.
You obviously have a great love for this era of rock and roll music.
This is what I grew up on. I mean, I'm only 28 years old, but from the minute that I could even open my mouth, I was singing Beatles, Beach Boys, Johnny Cash. I learned how to sing harmonies with my mom in the car, listening to this stuff, and I have never stopped listening to it. I love it.
So how cool is it to be able to get up on stage and perform it every night?
I have the greatest job in the world. I mean, you guys can relate. We have a really cool job.
I don't know if ours is as cool as yours, but
my sister's a meteorologist on NBC, so I know the hours.
Nice.
Yeah, I know the hours. But yeah, I get, my office is a stage, and I get to show up and entertain people for a living, which is pretty awesome.
How did you get started in all this?
The third grade. I played the American flag in the 50 Nifty United States.
I know the song. Do you know the song?
50 Nifty United States from 13 original colonies. Shout 'em, scout 'em, tell all about 'em, one by one till we've given a name to every state in the good old. There you go. This is perfect. You're a genius.
And then
this is the 50 Cent duet right here.
Oh yeah, the 50 Cent duet.
But you got started as the flag.
Yeah, that was my
I interrupted you so rudely. I'm sorry.
This is now my 56th show. I've got 3 degrees.
Wow.
I've been doing this since the 3rd grade, and I haven't stopped. And I want to continue doing it. I want to die on stage. I want this massive rock and roll. Yeah, knock on wood.
Christopher Ryan, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. You guys are wonderful.
Yeah, good to have you. $1 Million Quartet playing through Sunday at the Paramount. For tickets and info, check out stgpresents.org.
Come see us.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
Okay, so from the latest in the John Edwards trial to the solar eclipse that we will get a look at here in the Seattle area, a look at the stories that everybody's talking about online this morning.
And MJ is right back with a final look at your Wednesday weather forecast.